to have you in all days, wherever you may be, wherever you may be listening to us from. You are welcome. Remember, you can be part of this very program anywhere you are in the universe. All you need to do is simply log on to www.odenibofm.net. You can also download online radio bus or Dig Radio app or Radio Garden in any case from Google Play Store or from App Store. And each time you do that, search for Odenigbo FM and be part of what we are discussing here. In the case of Radio Garden, you can also search for Oposi and then you'll be part of the discussion. Anywhere you are, it's 6 minutes down the hour of 3 a.m. in Los Angeles and also 6 minutes down the hour of 6 p.m. in China, 6 minutes down the hour of 3 a.m. in Sacramento, California, and also 7 minutes down the hour of 11 here in Nigeria and 7 minutes down the hour of 11 in London. It's always good to have you. Let's quickly let you know that the program is Good Governance Ministry, where we discuss about good governance. It's more like a ministry where the preaching is always tough, where you have the pontification of ideals of good governance and then the democratic tenets and the need for the citizens to know their rights and know what they should do at all times. And the program is sponsored by BVI. My name is Tony Olisa Mbeki, the Honorable Speaker of the most powerful and robust parliament in Sub-Saharan Africa, the People's Parliament. And also, I'm in the studio this morning with Chinedu Peter Asozo, who is a fervent and ardent advocate of good governance. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Chinedu.
Thank you. And our listeners all over the world.
We also have Dr. Chukwudi Francis Ezigwe, Anambra Healthcare Initiative. Is also that of healthcare professional. It's my pleasure to welcome you. I noticed that you belong to an NGO, but we're going to talk about that later on. It's my pleasure to welcome you this morning.
Good morning, all. Pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you. Remember, we're going to look at the issue of bad governance to our health.
Exactly.
Many would want to ask, has bad governance any correlation, any effect to our personal health? Can we match the two? Can we correlate the two? Can we link the two? If we can, what are the signs? What are the symptoms? Most times, when you meet medical practitioners, you hear signs, you hear symptoms. If you do not hear signs, you will hear symptoms. And if you don't hear symptoms, you will hear drugs. These are things that are familiar with, and we always with them at MM, whatever they write. It's good to welcome everyone. Remember, Naina Igbo, Igbo, Makonya Negente, Aisulu Igbo, Ayasulu Igbo. If I jam on Apple Carbona, if I nepu,
Mmadụ inwe ego ị na-eliju afọ and so on and so forth. Mana ọ bụ na governance bụrụ ihe mebiri emebi, ọ bụ na o si na isi mmiri wee gbalie, ọ ga-emetụta ndị obele, especially n'ebe arụ ike ha dị. So ọ na-emetụta.
Ọ na-emetụta na arụ ike, nwere ike isi wekwu maka diet, kwuo maka, but dị ka njọ kedu abịa na Nigeria, kedu ọya ka egbu ndị mmadụ by your own estimation, assessment, personal. You may not need to cite any record. Some people would say malaria. For the guys say maternal mortality. For the guys say no COVID. For the guys say no pachoko. The commonest. For the guys say no me flu all these things in a mother attack. Kedun kekecha ebunde Nigeria.
No, we always have to go back to statistics, whether we like it or not.
Okay.
Now, based on statistics and some of the studies in Nigeria, the commonest ailments in what we call a group of ailments and about CVDs, which are cardiovascular diseases, which would include things like stroke, heart disease, heart failure, coronary artery disease, and so on and so forth, diabetes. So this compendium of diseases, you know, when you begin to talk about things like malaria, you know, malaria with a particular group of people on a metastatically, like Omazi, you know, then when you now talk about maternal and child health, you know, or maternal and child mortality, anyway, a particular group in but on the general, CVDs.
All right, now let's talk about governance and then bad governance, rather, and then the health. Biko, ipulifa, umachoki ibali ya, madam, onye ochichi governor, onye ochichi onye ndu president. N'ifo na-eme n'ifo dị ya eme nwee ka o si emetụta arụ ike ndị mmadụ biko mee ka anyị mara ife ndị afọ ya bụ ọ bụrụ na merọ nekwa ife ọ na result ọ bụrụ na ọ na-eme ya nekwa ife ọ na result policies fa etu o si affect ndị mmadụ.
Now let's bidogodi from basic.
Okay.
When we are talking about healthcare,
Okay.
you know, healthcare based on definition in the World Health Organization is a conglomeration. So you are talking about not just physical health, you're talking about mental health, you know, that's psychological. You're talking about social as well. That is, obuna aruna ya madina or obuna madi, let's say na madi with malaria. You know what that means? It means that nonya hamanje ngolo. Obuna with malaria na will not be here. Ika mande mo wori henge me ike obuna nchwa ime hedi otu a mo ibini oto and so on and so forth. So it affects me socially. Whether mo ijoka, mo ijolu or ijije paliamu with ndi oyim, you know, that kind of thing. Now, anyway, the mental aspect. Obuna madi aruna ye. Like after some mother no cancer, no food disease in you know, ada water. When you get the physical aspect. The onya bia arole onwe kone nwa roko, onwe nwa rumbu, one nwa zumbu, and so on and so forth. So that is one. Now, this healthcare and ekumakia, because Nigeria is part of the global world. Now, globally in the UN now why and we have Millennium Developmental Goals. You see from there, we're buying to Sustainable Developmental Goals. Now, anywhere things and negalanya about one is reduction in no poverty. The other one bo imekani de beginning. The third one beginning health. Then the other one is what? Education.
It's security.
No, chaluna globally.
Okay.
Now, if you are these four indices, Nigeria sona the least. In fact, I know na first three. Nandina yamaradi hanako, the lowest in the world. Now, let me give you an example. In terms of life expectancy in Nigeria, how many years money we don't know. Now, Nigerians they live on the average 56 years. Then 54 years. Okay. Now, is that a good thing? No, it can't be a good thing. Now, what was it where man at na I know healthcare is obuna governor, more president, more na church, obuna mefana aroaderia on a hospital Nigeria can a manager mba ojebo obodo. That tells you that he or she has no confidence na if I na banwa. Now, when you are talking about healthcare, you are talking about quality. Again, what quality? Quality in terms of ndi na fumakia, the doctors, the nurses, the health professionals. Quality in terms of the equipment, in terms of the infrastructure, and so on and so forth. Then you talk about accessibility. In where good health care system, say na Onitsha, or say na Nnewi or the big cities, kema ke ibaye zie hedika Enugu, ibaye Adabo avomeme, ibaye obodo kilikili obodo anuma, kezi fige mema kafa, kedi kahagi siwe na access because madi wiki na eba or man wiki be those big cities, so you have accessibility. Then we have affordability. Onyanwa, can that person pay for it? That's why I'm not trying to health insurance. Now, so in all these things, if not based on these things, we lack quality, we don't have, it's not affordable, and it's not accessible. Thank you.
I want to check if any no one can more pass it. I don't care when I get an exam. I want to mortgage the aka. Come on, Edan and Kade, upon and Kade, upon and Kade. On your does everywhere, carry fire, was on your phone. One of the machine can wake up at a gap, the car, and if we find a pool, Imana, when they would take him Bobona, if you're ever, if you car, if you could see where the mob not the wrong for, you know, no kono, mana each alona, they bonded on a government, because if you're states, Imana health, so now one of the items sitting residual list, both the federal, both the states, and not even the local government, and sometimes individuals can also be part of it. But despite the fact that it has been made this way, can we get in a zondo mana or to the marina pambe or na agoba amarabo kona obisi marabo kona agoba the kaimalo.
The truth of the matter when dika one nine woke Dr. Suweku and the Kisuwako Wakwe, Ada Gidare Benine, my accessibility, my quality, and even the affordability. Whatago. Onye niile a ka anyị dasị. Onye ka anyị ji wele eti mkpu n'oke ọnụ. Ịlote mgbe anyị na-ekwu okwu maka open grazing, end ban on open grazing. Mgbe anyị na-ekwu ọ bụrụ sọsọ ya ka a ga-aban. A ga-aban kwu this political class, these leaders, from going abroad to access medical treatment once you are occupying any public office, whether appointed or elected. Because until you do that, they will not make effort to bring about a sustainable, accessible, and affordable healthcare service delivery for all. Because I tell you, be equal stakeholders. Anywhere, but Anambra State, or anywhere on the Anambra State. Likewise, Nigeria as a whole. So the point I name everybody in Sofia, or everybody in Nigeria in Sofia, mana all bad governance. This kind of health issues. Now, like you asked in the first question, Julia, on bad governments on affect our health. Honestly speaking, come gesi chegide echiche. Mara ebe nni gesi wee bịa. Mara ebe the next meal gesi wee bịa. Nna arụ atụ onye afọ na ego na ọbala na alụkọ ọlụ. Now a lot of people on the kind of like on stroke. Many stroke today are caused by what? By BP, high BP, Dr. Kwezioku. Many of them are caused by high blood pressure. Then now, for the mefa, how Guchago, how Luchago, Yibo, Mecha every yet, I could have moved a pension, and then I pension or barrel, a lot, I barrel. Now, Obalabago, work at that stroke. And the work of the hospital, I give, which you go council body. Why can't you allow one by now, but now, but you BK? Near Basala good governance, I know, and you just about contesting election, winning election, politics, and all that. No. Why we are insisting on that is because all but to run a millipam, to run a monopam, or just one open arrow. I don't need to join all these years. That's why I whip to why. Now, good governance ministry, BVI Channel 1, now sponsor, can the matter where matter because you have to know yourself first. You have to understand the powers you have, and you have to insist on good governance. It is not government ban or teaching may focus it is their responsibility. Likewise, citizens require the obligation to the government. And only people go from government officials. Anambra State today. One time ago, one member of the house or something make a proposal. Medical insurance in Anambra State. I can assure you now medical insurance on Anambra State. But how many people know about it? How many people can access it? How many people can afford even that little amount of money on yearly basis? So these are the things. Here in a member government to say in a man, I'm a looting at their failure. I'm a blue on our shoulder to educate the people. Because all government calling the department for public enlightenment. Keep budget for it. How are they impacting on the lives of people? How are they inspiring the people? So if a leadership will failure, on one in an hour, or I could you them back. No, all good governance in our good governance ministry na arụ maka ona isi awaje ụka na akwado mkpụrụ obi anyị maka enigwe ona ka isi akwado mkpụrụ obi gị na arụ gị maka ibi n'ụwa dịka mmadụ ọbụla ha biri n'ụwa anyị na-edizi ka ụmụ anụmanụ ka kụzi anyị mma ụfọdụ bịa sị na Nigeria sị na asị Nigeria bụrụ zoo because na ndị ije na zoo nọ n'obodo oyibo na ebe dị iche iche ebe e nwere ezigbo zoo a na-azụfụ ọfụma arụ ya afọ agba afọ mkpụrụ ọgwụ mmadụ ahụ nakọta bịa na-egbufe enyi ha mba mana n'obodo anyị niile a na-eme anyị even anụmanụ ka kụzie ndị mmadụ mma enwetago so onye ka anyị ji wee chọọ ka enwe a turnaround and it starts with the people. It starts with the people because the sovereignty lies on the people.
All right, thank you so much. I was actually going through a number of documents because I so much like history. If we're going to Nigeria, we must remember that the budget, the national budget for health, the capital component of that is about 45 billion naira. And then when it translated in dollars, that money, probably you may say that some people tell you, is it up to $100 million? That's to tell you how it is. But then South Africa, I keep making reference to South Africa. they have budgeted, they have about $3 billion for health. That's South Africa. India, about $7 billion for health. And then Nigeria put everything together, about 500 million naira. We are the capital component, that is where those provide their amenities, provide their some equipments and gadgets and all that, and also look at the welfare of the doctors, these things that are not captured in the recurrent package. Then if you look at the money, you will know that if it may be good. In fact, but not the same. The money on daily basics. For example, to election of Basam. Kedonya Sina election ana to Abasare kedu ko si metuta onodo arikia ma oya baro, because from infection edukawa certain provisions will not be made because they don't even believe in the system, the medical system of this country. They will always go abroad and they spend so much amount of money. The country spends over $1 billion on medical tourism.
Exactly.
Yearly.
Exactly.
That is far below Ego Audible for its own budget. It check his own budget about, I'll still calculate it and come back with a real figure on it. Far away from the total budget package. But that's what the elite, the so-called leaders, neighbor leaders, they spend na medical tourism. Ototunde mado, igano no wodi ichi. As no shock. I said that among equipment inka, among wenka, and the doctors are they how morale. And I said about strike. I said Haman Lucy. I said again in the yellow can hazard allowance 5,000. Ebana and Yamar newspaper allowance almost 150,000 newspaper allowance. In is more hazard allowance for exposing myself to danger 5,000. Doctor Konobru FIFA I've gone on me 12.
I want onye ọbụla nọ na Nigeria mana ife gbasara Nigeria, Anambra State ebe anyị nọ, a lot of things are not right. Onwe ihe ijum sim na that sustainable developmental goals Nigeria signing, we sign it to a na-ekwu maka poverty, a na-ekwu maka iliju afọ, a na-ekwu maka health, a na-ekwu maka ịgụ akwụkwọ. Mana ibe na Nigeria now, one of the major things now worrying anyị now is security. You know. Now, if you look at kai jegodi na roads anyị, because onwe ife ejo na ndị mmadụ, because enwezi this resignation among the populace, kedu ife anyị ga-ejije to election ebe edego onye ga-win and so on and so forth, enwe ka that resignation enwe ka o si affect our healthcare? Of course it does, because we are not holding the leaders accountable. We are not taking them to account. Even na electioneering in Nigeria, olukwara ana if no eke rice, eke ego, eke tomato, eke imago, those kind of stuff. Aboya stomach infrastructure. Mana, imana, only one funny thing about the human composition. No, it's just the truth. Because he didn't live here. What will happen? Because your system is not used to it, it will just reject it. It's just human composition. Iota. Now, all these people now put up for governorship election, Anambra, EPC take her to task. Kedia try email the people. You can come and say, Nga luzo, memenka, onato. Mana, that is not substance. We have chasing red herring. Obro substance. The substance of Nigeria, based on every indices, check human development, I be number 2 or 3, lowest in the world. I na da chiazo, I da ganiru. Now, some of these people, kedifa iga wafa, hospitals anye well equipment. Inanye for that na every day, doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals, fan is in Nigeria. In fact, when you want opportunity to see Nigeria, I'm going to I'm going to say how for next. Oh, my God, go with that because to
be honest with you, Tony, that side there, no chago, one passion from the bag because the bell and the bag and Emilia.
Let me explain something to you. Some of the projects I did when no school, na University of Michigan Flint. What they will tell you, Bo, how have you been affecting your community? No, I'm telling you the truth. Kedikisi affect your community. That is why if you do any research here, they gobble it up. Only one Nigerian professor, Winnie, about 1 billion, I think roughly about 1 billion naira, grant from Bill Gates Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. About maybe a month or two ago, etc. Somebody in Lagos. Now that tells you that Ndocha, you know why? Because you affect their own infrastructure, maybe obodofa. It's as simple as that. Because so they will ask you, how does it help your community? For example, one professor in Ibadan, he did a study. He now found out that one of the things in the lead to, he was talking about stroke or balambanian and so on. One of the major things in the lead to it, this table salt, the madna debate. Because of that, this man and then with a grant or saying on a chijo brebo. Or an George or Mekagini or Batapa, no queba name again, name a study. So, anyway, some of us, where this akununo, this passion, that if that was why we set up the Anambra Health Initiative. In Yalonde Madaka, Igwa that there is hope. Because hope and we cannot let that hope die. So, name we hope. So, what are we doing? I jegale. I je. Ndawa na manweki biamuna nuku no mono bello no nda na enwere ike access health. I je kunufa. I say for okay ne. What I fe na emefa. Nyelufa ko na enwe ike whether by education, whether by treatment and so on and so forth. Because that is how you build up a nation. Nwere ko tu ozo. No kwande just line health to be wealth. So the point being that nanda na achi should be taken to task. If potassium in Nigeria health, is it that the primary level? Is that the tertiary level? Is that the secondary level? Do you know that when you are talking about health in Nigeria, so if I am curative, what about preventive?
Exactly.
What about preventive? And imana ikusioya, or sorry, koya ya lebia, ibochioya, ka oguguyamma. These are the things they perceive. That's the first port of call. Do you understand? And when we do you know when we just neganya, say look, and we they can and we study that in waking with stroke or the risk of CVD within a 10-year period. And when KCME is not a big deal, just in the draw 1 or 2 questions. Do you understand what I mean? And that is why in Docha JB and Duaka. Do you know a part of policy in Docha is that now the exercise? Neputa every day, at least 5 times in a week for 30 minutes. Do you understand what I mean? You can fund them money. He put all the bonds or ta. And we age little bonds of Bunsubu. Ilu 40, Moke no 40, blue bonds and nata, Monesa Sega. Do you understand? Oh my God, that just in Yamalon and Duya, or reduce going Duya by as much as 50%.
Don't advance.
Don't have one. Do you know what we're saying?
So the corner. It's a bonds. Because in as mother and a bonds, little bonds, the cheapest food.
Exactly.
He can afford. Or man afford to know the
regular food.
The luxury of all these fried rice and possibly all these dishes ordered. So also go sachet water, that is in kind of pure water. Wolo fu cigar. Wolo bonds we put to.
Letiti anwu na abo.
Letiti anwu na eke. And our family want to all imana icheki onya na wagifa onwe ike income here, average income here in a day $2. So what do you expect? I'm asking.
No, that's what we are saying. Iyo jemi habo one bona government ade mi ha kwese ime.
God wrong. If you see get there.
Manima now a system, a normal system where a way checks and balances. Let's say now, no school, for example, you can find something else for him to do. And with so many things. You can get people to do it and pay them money. Like only him info before now be a that now, even with any name in Nigeria, now the number of houses are erect. In fact, Nigerian high-rise buildings erect go in the past 1 year. Now, $100 million or more than that. So if that now, a lot of people are bringing money home. They are bringing money home. Money here and just alone. No, now if people water that now, health is wealth. How can we be taking money to something like India when we can actually bring them money? May eba nwa or dem eba amamma. Instead of Monagina, Ghana, or South Africa, those people are making it a
quick one because we are looking at time. Remember, the program is Good Governance Ministry. We have Dr. Chukwudi Francis Ezigwe in the studio. We also have Chinedu Peter. So remember, the program is sponsored by BVI. Let's quickly take a message from BVI. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by BVI Channel 1, an online media for the unity of Ndibo, with over 146,000 subscribers and millions of followers all over the world. Search for BVI Channel 1 on YouTube and Facebook or call 0810-420-7522. The number again is 0810-420-7522. BVI Channel 1, Voice of Ndibo, Voice of the People.
Brother, what I not do, and our country not good. Every day party for only. Your mother go show you face for crime fighter. Rich man with his money, we now they see their face for crime fighter. Tell me something I don't know why. Rich man go they like we are.
Right, thank you so much. I was actually doing a lot of calculations, and then I like doing some kind of differentiation and integration using the power of calculus. But all the same, let's quickly get back to what we are looking at. We're looking at bad government as it relates to health. Just like I was actually saying, World Health Organization, WHO, has insisted that a country should set at least 15% of its annual budget for health, just as UNESCO did say about 26% for education. But it will interest you to note that the 2021 budget Nigeria made recently for health is about 4.52%. That's what it dedicates to health from the 13 trillion Naira Appropriation Act we are currently practicing. But all the same, it will interest you that even just like I said earlier on, the capital component is about 46 billion, and then with the recurrent giving a total of about 592 billion naira. So if you look at 592 billion naira, it has to do with the salaries of the doctors and the nurses, and then what have you, medical practitioners, their salaries, and also their pension, and then what have you, their retirement benefits, their gratuity, and all these things. But then the capital component, if you divide that capital component by 200 million, if you're not on your bonus, with 230 naira for health in a year. That's what it means. I'm just trying to be practical. When they made the analysis, I think one of the papers did the analysis. I think the Guardian, they did the analysis and then say that if I put up 246 naira for month, but they are wrong. You know why they are wrong? They included the salaries of the doctor. They look at the total package. Happy wapota nke for capital nke geju enye mmadu happy gonu nke ayenye doctors in form of their salaries and their benefits. You wapota nke bo capital. That is, you look at the capital. You don't do such mathematics from the total package. You look and do the package. So after done that, I did that, and then it gave me 230 naira for a year. So if you divide it by a month, one must say affordable. From the federal budget, were 230 naira for your health. But doctor, is that part of bad government or bad governance? Because the money is not there. Because even as the budget itself, about 13 trillion, on a deficit of about 6 trillion, which Mr. President has also sent a letter for borrowing. Keep borrowing, borrowing, and when mother will sell everywhere. On what they found out, is that the way to go? Is that part of good governance?
No, it cannot be. It cannot be. And here behind us in a modern asoda nugu. because onye na agbada n'ugwu ịmara ife omini ọgba ọsọrị nna ome gịnị ọtọmbụlụ ọsụ ike na anị obidokwa n'isi gbaa akwa. And that is what we are doing. So it's so bad. Ịma na ihe ikwu na o gosi m na gị na statistics na-adị na mma. And that is where ndị na-achị anyị they don't even understand statistics. It's so sad because this is part of policy. Iman nọkata otu ihe pụta isi m na ị ga-eme nke. If you listen to mgbe a na-eme the American presidential elections, if they were talking about if ọ bụ na fa na-ekwu, they had their facts, they had figures. Ọ bụrụ ịpụta sị na ọkụ ga-adị nke nwa ga-eme. That wasn't what they were talking about. They had facts, they had figures. One of the reasons why the president Nobuano Jiwe lose was because of COVID. It was because of a health problem.
Yeah.
They felt that he wasn't doing enough and that people were what? They were dying. That was the reason. Man, even in Nigeria now, the worse the government gets, you know, it's so sad. It is very sad. Until we change and begin to look at facts, begin to look at figures. Because if you say, now, let's say Anambra State, for example, no to Anambra the now, compared to say Otu Anambra the 5 years ago, which Anambra be a microcosm of the macrocosm, which is Nigeria. Now, Open Otu Anambra the now, compared to 5 years ago, not the well, so we have to take to task. What are they offering? What are they offering? Already, the UNESCO, the WHO, all these world bodies, something that is a benchmark. We can use that, but they are not using it.
But the truth is, where is the money? They will tell you the money is nowhere to be found. Where do we get the money to do what we are asked to do? Get the bag with the Diego. Because some governors don't think outside the box. Some of them will always calculate the internally generated revenue, IGR, and the allocation. We're thinking, Ogalefa. Or more than that, these things fluctuate. Allocation fluctuate. Revenue fluctuate. Do you have anything formidable on ground you can leverage on?
Can I say something?
Please say something.
Do you know now, a country like Israel? Israel is a very small country.
Very small.
Man, Israel, they export technology to America.
Okay.
They export technology to the country with the biggest economy in the world.
Human capital development.
This same Israel, there was a time India had a water problem. They called a professor from Israel. He came and dealt with their water. Any other way for us to raise this money? Do you know that Israel, when it comes to tourism, Israel may generate billions of dollars from tourism. Billions of dollars from tourism.
But that's one of their biggest
industry. Billions of dollars from what? From tourism. Agriculture. From agriculture. And the
issue of arms. They use the great brains to produce
arms and everything. And sell arms.
The truth is that there are many Nigerians who can do this. But as if you don't care, I am maybe in Abia. I am maybe Osi, South Guinea, South Imago, Osi Southwest or Southeast. We know your agenda. We are going. What about issue of university research system and mechanism, how to revive and what we need to do? The truth is that now, Kaiga water, if any man will keep you feel sorry for this country. But all the same, let's quickly engage you by communicating to you. Kiwe keep Manyana Karanda, you return and dinner na studio Kukubu Dr. Claire Chupude, Francis Zigwe, and Mr. Chinedu Peter Sozo, on your strong advocate of good governance. Get do 5%. What shall we do? What do we need to do as a people? Government Kedify game. 0701-947-8850 or 0703-81-55515. Imalakuzo zo ajo chichisi enwengo siputa na rike mado meka imalo. We appreciate. We add it to the ones we stated. Because ajo chichi bad governance. Or we call it bad government or whatever. It was where Metuta are rekindling Mado. Let's go. You hear from what people will say now. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Peter and the doctor.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
I'm from the Emmanuel from Onitsha.
Emmanuel, calling from Onitsha.
Yes. Dr. Mbeke, I think I would disagree with the two nations on one side. say that our government and our politicians don't have stability. Let me tell you, these people have everything, but they are wicked. They are very wicked. That is similar here. They go and they move. Majority of them when they go out overseas. Majority of them when they know go university overseas. Majority of them when they go politics overseas. Okay, we don't know now go politics overseas. You know, someone has found I want to statistics. On I have with the end of the event. Even illiterate self and I feel in the event. Let me tell you, if you will buy your food alive, I don't make it like them. But it's like I come from their behavior. Yeah, wickedness, their children are outside. How to suppress the masses here so that open heart is shining, come one making a chilapa. That is why you did our health care here. If we are also we must follow wherever. You can go here and put money in 1 week and bend the vine. You know, Nigeria, China, for a man now, 150, 130, 140 years. If we are ready as freshers, go to Dubai, for people not in the but demand Dubai would go to and Dubai. And you never had I didn't look at China. But the honey make you call in the madam. I am more at Dubai, okay, Dubai, I am more. This was a camera, I'm not almost 9 or something million naira. Now buying. If here is Nigeria, would I be free? That I play with from my nose. It's not a joke. You don't know someone that I should go back to Nigeria and give testimony. I don't know what night about one. This is the moment my got in the money.
All right,
I want to judge
it. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
My honorable speaker, good morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm on the Naira Account.
Tom, they're calling from near. Let's go.
Yeah. Before I go, until I able the masses to go to the responsibility by ourselves. I think I every time I fortunately now election is coming. Can even what I have to do based on religions and tribal line. That's the issue. Because in other countries, those people are different appointed with that. Based on religions and tribal sentiment. That is the truth. And the secondly, people are eager to put money to vote. That's what I'm preaching. And some people don't understand. They keep on blaming. Until we come, it's not about funding, police station, and that is an old way of trying to do something. Let us come together. It doesn't matter how people are trying to reach a nation. If people will come together and vote in somebody they like, let me tell you. Okay, now, are we going to? So that I use that area. They have 3 people out. Nobody is going to do that. But everybody is out of my house for the election. After election, you started the blame shouting. That is good. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I'm still going to come back to Doctor and then Chinedu. Good morning, you're welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Terry and Dick.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yes, my regard to our guest in the studio.
No, sir.
Yeah, Chidi Chukuma is reaching you from this morning.
You're welcome.
Even Basalo, if you make live, it does us. And I'm making a CGK. Oh, if you could say, don't get gaga, but we're on Macamoa. No Macamasi, because of knowledge is power. Even Basana, what that represent the eye of one. The eye is it wall to represent us. Manafade. Now you have power to recall them. And if they leave about that process of a recall, because that's something impossible to achieve because of Nigeria me. And then with the Ronya for a recall, and opera and Monday mother actually recall mother. Gambo, no for no recall the process. Because when we elaborate on it to tell people the way to record people, a different take to record how the process is here to record somebody not representing well. You check it out, all not impossible, man. Nigeria, we get it because all people with power, we get initiate good idea, can bring the changes. That thing, one other ways, if you were put down on them, we give vote to somebody out. When I don't want the fact of impossible because voting and name, because in memory, of religion, I say no, ya, bonyo kai, one on ya, onya kokonkai, Fuguye, on this, he gets so no matter. You're making see we're teaching them what the hell was I recall. The possible way of
All right.
we push them out of the power.
Teaching people issue of recall. Let's take this one. We're gonna come back later on. Good morning, you're welcome.
Mr. Mbeki, good morning.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, in studio, I greet you.
Good day.
The topic we raised this morning is very, very valuable.
Let's have your name and where you're calling from is important.
My name is Mr. Ane, calling from Bujago.
You're welcome.
So, as you know, the topic we look at is one of the best in the Southeast. My popular here, Ululeku, I just they can actually call the governors. So from my own point of view, I'm authentic possible. Because they didn't even regard those people that they are doing. They can't even listen to their class. If the police people come for protest, they'll take gun and check them out. They'll take checkers and check them out. If the people call them, like now, Habibi, that you have this call them to the Odonibo Parliament now. Do you think that they will come? I don't think that they will come. Because they don't have any regard for those that they think that they are living. So I don't know what to do about that. But all said and done, I know that God is in our side. There's nothing that they can do that they will prevail.
All right, thank you so much. You've heard the voices of the people. If you continue, you even listen to them, you'll get tired, because many calls are still coming, because what we do here resonates far and wide. Let's get back to you. Somebody said something about recalling people, the idea to teach people how to recall, but then the system we operate most times suffocates, suppresses such, even when it's given a mention in the Constitution, especially recalling a sitting representative, and in case of governor, being impeached by the State House of Assembly, and in case of the President, the National Assembly. But we've seen the very, very challenges. These things are no job on that. But then, can you say anything on that?
It's a little bit digress from Iva Inukuman. Let me just punch on it a little bit.
A quick one.
Ndeba Nikuloko said that Obori Kunye and when Millie to the issue, no in Atakuya Iko. And Indio Ibosina prevention is better than cure. Nakaina Gwandeba and Ete Kampu. Fiena Sa Nanya, Potan in full to participate in the political process that brings about these people occupying these positions. Oya Kaijuele made this program. Can they matter what are the powers they have? And that is just the answer for now to that question.
All right, Doctor, let me come back to you. Can a citizen go to his governor and say, I demand to know how much you have allocated for health in the last 1 month, in the last 2 months, you've released in funding health facilities, and then funding health challenges in the state. I demand to know as a taxpayer and as a truthful citizen of this very state. Okay, Mia.
Well, I'm a Obuda in Sweden. Mana, actually, me can one night okay for this forum owopta when our sponsor na-eme ihe niile wee na-eti mkpu you know ka ndị mmadụ wee malụ na ọ ka mma na igbochi ihe maka ihe ahụ mekwara ana idozizi ya na-eme gịnị na afịa arụ Nigeria dị ka ite wala awa a na-eme ka amazi aka a ga-esi wee kpụkọnata you know so the truth of the matter bụ na some people na the elite anwakwa like otu ono oje school and so on and so forth or the enlightened or the exposed otu anyị na ebe anyị na-ekwu maka ife you know because anyị kwukati ya ga-enwe ka ha ga-esi mee gịnị wee gee ntị. Do you understand? Anwe ka kwukati ya unchete onwe mgbe somebody jele obodo oyibo amachi ya mesi ife niile eme he now force the person o mee gịnị ọ na-achite back to Nigeria onwe mgbe o mee so if that na mana all the elite and thank God for this forum like social media and so on and so forth you can use it to engage the governance or the government na ife dị otu a na ọ da agakwa general hospitals anyị it's not a big deal ijemalo whether ma ogwu adi ebe ahụ whether they have the right people there. If you go to our general hospitals or primary health care centers you find out that na a post to doctor ebe omankweno
maka gịnị because someone na kwam na nke dị na Umueri na wis na
I fear na ihe niile omankweno enwe my colleague a post to ebe ahụ that was many years ago over 10 years ago a post to ebe ahụ njekwuli ya before ebe ọ nọ si adị anyị na na anwakwa
emebere ya ebere
anwụ ghetto enwe ịma anwụ nwe level
anwụ open teeth
ịma akwụkwọ anwụ ghetto when ata nwoke a ka ọ tagbuo so the truth of it, that is where you now talk about na-ekwu maka hazard 5,000 ọkwa aka na-akọ ọnụ ya eji maka ya the resident doctors just strike aka na-akọkwa story ya luo kịta it's not supposed to be an issue ego one ka a na-akwụ elsewhere ọ bụrụ Nigeria bido medicine ọ bụrụ Nigeria bido health care ọ bụrụ Nigeria bido ihe niile ọndọcha nke anyị na-eme ọndọcha wetara anya so anyị mee ya mma ọ bụrụ ihe eme gịnị ihe emelụ mma.
All right, Darren, we'll look for another call before we wrap up. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Darren.
Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of the good intention. But because I didn't go back a problem. I know the data also. When it's you got to kind of more. Or the day, I think I know other guy I have started how would I can. So here I do my brother. Who I don't know example because Nigeria is good intention that I have to have suppress shining on my because one of brothers is here taking it now. Because we got to. Without you, we actually get to I don't know, open about the jail. Whatever it is, because I just don't know here. Yeah, no, I just hear, oh, I watch I know, I know. But I know you didn't know. I just put a marker in the very eye. Sir?
Darren, we've got you. I am looking for people. Darren, that na ifa and you could not walk up on any with the coast. No, Cabon and you could see going to make protest. No, whatever, we're Babagi. Now, a jab of Babugi. Now, they were made protest. In fact, offer my 6 in your money, you could see control lawyer. Now, can if I get me?
Tony, if I get many, I'll be fine. I now. The people have to know the powers they have, and that is what we're preaching here. And when you are organized, then you are so powerful. There is no government that can stand you. The point to be organized, and that Nyama created this good governance ministry. One neighbor souls can the mother then Chikonatan the mother on. Here in the Kuku healthcare service delivery. Let me tell you, a big deal. The problem is about lack of leadership. And we can address that. Since I have passed vote of no confidence on most of these politicians, we will not fail ourselves if the government fails. That's why organizations CDA2 and YNMF identify, partner with them. They have been going about doing free healthcare service delivery in different communities. Yeah, medical practitioners chịkọnata onwe fọnụ si na ka ha were nke a wee na-add value back to the system. Last week I made a program ebe a na-ajụ ndị mmadụ kedu ife ị na-add back into the system as your contribution to better your society. Ịghọtago ihe a ka anyị na-agba mbọ na identify groups na-agwakwa different groups dị iche iche. To identify yourself with us, we will bring you on board so as to help your mission to affect our society positively. This Anambra Healthcare Service initiative, Otu Dr. Francis Aneme, BVI Channel 1, na ga agbaso ozi fa na-eme. Good Governance Ministry ga na-eje make sure that na ndị niile na-anụ ọnụ anyị mgbe ọ ga-elute na your community I ga-eme announce na this platform gwa gị mgbe ị ga-apụta na ebe ị ga-apụta. These are part of the things anyị na-eme mba anyị na-agba to add value to our system. Ndị na-asị that na ihe a na-ekwu dị ọjọọ ka ọ na-ekwu ọ bụrụ eziokwu ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu na-abụ ka ọ na-ọbụla join nụọ ife anyị na-eme na Good Governance Ministry by joining our platform or calling 0810 420 7522. Can I repeat it again? 0810 420 7522. My way or 080 6098 2212. My search BVI Channel 1 anywhere. My contact Peters. BVI I know steady every day. He educated the people on what.
All right, Darina Kamejo, Doctor Namechi, Woluzuko Mechi, Chinedri Mechigo, Ka Dr. Wolokun Kamechi, this initiative Neme, Wolu, Ofun Keji, where Gwani fed this initiative Putalum Council and all this non-governmental organization.
If I remember, I know Jebe Dichiche. Eben the mother then where, like we said, access the mother that afford. So it is actually free, you know. So I bekotono, I neje mia, I nend the madanya, Wafi for Presime, onwen kai ha, I nefa. So we run free
Medical checks,
medical missions. Now these Obodo Basini na Anambra, that's what we do. Now, Ima, I na choppy po gabia, nyela anyaka, you know, in terms of I na her partner, and that's why we are partnering with BVI. So all the fact because it's not just go see our MSC formula. You have to affect your community.
Dr. Chukwudi Francis says when they can get really the need for one to partner with it, not just partner with BVI, but then to impact on the community. Impact. Only go out BC. Ego sitting in a professor, PhD. How does that impact in your not just community, your neighbors around, the people around you? Can you go see a change certain things positively? It's so good. Thank you so much. What we're going to take this very morning. Noon. Can we keep it along the news? My name is Tony Olisam Becky. They can see Dr. Chukwudi Francis Ezigwe and Chinedu Peters as a Becky. No, I get you at the This you can be on the commercial.
Thank you very much.